Hello, welcome back. Today, since winter's coming, I've decided to work on putting remote start into the Tundra. So I've got the kit, I've got the Start X remote starter kit. Picked that one up from Amazon. It's supposed to be pretty much, I think it is just plug and play actually. Pretty much disconnecting the connectors, plugging them in, plugging the rest in again. So we'll go through and we'll have a look what they've got in here actually. So that is the main unit. They do have the online install video. Comes with a pry bar as well. Handy, there you go. Zip ties, all harnesses, and instructions. Yeah, okay, so pretty much it just seems like taking off panels and then plugging these in, unplugging the existing, plugging these in, and then the existing plugs into the back of these. Seems really simple, so we'll see how we go. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is turn the steering wheel to expose the two screws on one on the side and one on the other side. So we end up taking the two panels that sit either side of the steering wheel. We're going to take the sill one off down here to here, and then this lower panel. These are all the panels we have to take off, so just going to turn on the truck, and then you can see that one and that one. So I'm going to do this one first. Just going to turn that off. Yeah, just stop that for 5 seconds. I'll take those out. Stop that for 5 seconds. Okay, so that's off. That was really simple. So yeah, we just took out the two screws, the one I showed you on that side and the one on that side, and just popped it. And what you're trying to get to later on will be in here. I think it's this connector here. But next we're going to take off the sill, which actually should come off quite. So you got to loosen. It's a bit hard to see, but there is a nut right back here. Pretty much just hand tight. That's what it looks like. It's just a plastic one, and that should pop off separately, but it's so easy you can do it with one hand. And then it's this one here, which has the nut here. There's another one just up under here. Yeah. So I'll undo those and I'll pop that off, and then you're ready to plug everything in. So, okay, so I've taken the two bolts out, and this pretty much comes out just by pulling on it. Oh, can't do that one, it's this one. I think very good. That's your airbag. Now everything's exposed essentially. I think this is one of the other plugs in here that you have to get. I think it's that one there. And the OVD reader. Alright. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that one. You got to get this one here as well later on. So they're all the main plugs you have to get to. So yeah, let's get the packaging opened and start installing it. Okay, that's it all laid out. Kind of looks pretty daunting, but when you look at it, it's basically you're unplugging from the vehicle, plugging in the back, and then plugging that back into the vehicle. So, or to the unit. Just not as bad as it looks. That's your OBD reader where you plug in the truck one, and that is where the one used to plug into, and that will point out. So not as bad as it looks. I mean, this does have instructions here, but if you go to the YouTube video too, that's really well laid out and almost tells you better and a lot easier how to do it. So yeah, I'll start unplugging here and we'll start showing you where to plug these in. Okay, so first one we do is this harness. So it's this one up here, just ignition. It's just behind. You've got to kind of squeeze and push. Probably could use a screwdriver, thin blade one if you want to. Pull that out, and then go plug. You can see that better. So you see how those match. So all we're doing is plugging the female end of this harness into that end, and this is this cable here with the black earth wire connected to it. I believe that's the only one that has that. The other harness doesn't have this black one to it, so make sure you've got that one. This will actually go to the main unit, the main box here, plugs into the back. So this first one's really simple. So I'll plug it in and then we'll show you what that looks like. Okay, that's how simple it was. That literally takes seconds to do. So this is the one that was plugged into the ignition originally. This is our harness, just plugged into the female and plugged the other end into there. It's done. And then when it's all said and done, we will zip tie these up, the zip ties they give us, and keep it sort of in the same area as the original wire looms, all the way down the middle. You do have an earth wire to attach here. They recommend to put it down here where I've actually used this one already for other things, so I'll use the same one again like they have. To put the ground, this guy. So yeah, I'll run that now and we'll put that in, and that's that harness done. Okay, so there you go. That's that harness. I've just put it in and around your inside all the framework. Just remember to make sure you do that, because you've got to be conscious of that all these panels have to go back up in, and then just screw it into this one right here. I mean, this, if you're trying to work out where it is, if you're really lost, we unscrewed the bolt for this panel. This one here was right above it, so it's the one just below. So that is that done. Now it's to run this other harness, so we'll grab that and start working out how that all clicks together. Okay, next we're going to connect this guy. And this one comes right in here, this cluster, which is trying to show you where it is in relation to steering wheel, and it's kind of below the vent. And on mine it's this top one, and these plugs will only plug into each other, so you can always just compare the two. Yeah, and that, so that one will plug in like that, and then this end that you pulled out, plug in to the other end. So yeah, and always keep on, remember to run the wires behind all the framework. I'll just chuck all this behind so we don't get, because you remember you got to pull this back up. So at the end I'll zip tie it all up, make it all nice and tidy. So yeah, I'll plug this one in and then we'll get on to the next one, which means I think the OBD is the next one, I think, but I'll double check that. Yeah, okay. Okay, the OBD reader, that one, you just push in on the sides here. Underneath the side it's got little depression or clips. You just push in and then push it back. I've loosened this one off already, so we're going to push that back through the framework. This is the end that'll go back into that point, then the truck factory one will go into the back. Again, we'll just thread that all down, so I'll do that one and then we'll move on to the next. So that's that done. That was really easy. It really is just plug and play for the most part. The only bolt so far is I actually take off to do with the actual wiring has been the earth. And then it'll just be tightening up the wires, tying them all. So let's see what we got here. Actually, let's refer to the instructions, what these are, and then we'll move on. Okay, next thing is they want us to plug it in to the main unit here, to this plug, which is part of the first harness that came from the key, initial one, with the earth wire on. So we'll plug that in, give us 5 seconds here. You hold the front button. You have to wait till it turns blue and red. Well, that didn't work the first time. Let's unplug this again and see if it'll. Yeah, it's still turning blue and red. Well, that doesn't go to plan. Okay, I'm just going to try and unplug it again. You're supposed to plug that in, and you're supposed to hold the button, if you can see it, just down here. Hold that in until those LEDs turn blue and red, without the orange there. So, just going to try it again and see if I'm doing something wrong there. And come back. Okay, so what I wasn't doing is you've got to hold the button down at the front and then plug that in, and then you get the red and blue light. So next what I have to do, the second harness we put in, is plug in this one with the grey wires and this bigger one. The red one goes in last, so don't do that. So yeah, it's these two. I'll plug in those, and then what you've got to do once they're in is press that button 10 times until they all turn blue, or they start flashing blue. So we'll do that. Okay, so we got it sorted. So YouTube video says press that 10 times. If you actually read the instructions in here, it says 2 times. The instructions are pretty good, and the ones they give you. The YouTube video that I was using here from Starter X actually says 10, but so yeah, you just push it twice after you connect this, and you have the blue and red showing. Then you connect the grey and the other connect at the top here. Then you just press that button again twice. It starts flashing. I think it's blue and the red starts just flashing. And then you just turn it to the on position, but you don't fully crank, you just turn it to on, and then wait till this low one just turns blue, and you turn it off, and you're done with that. The next thing you have to do is this one. If we don't connect that one, we'll be able to start it, but we won't be able to unlock it with the remote. You'd have to put the key in the door and open it manually. So this one, I believe, goes down in here somewhere. Find it and I'll show you where it is. It's one of these in here. So pull that out and do that, then you're almost there. So for most parts it can be fairly easy. Bit of a hiccup on that between what's on the YouTube video from Start X and the actual instructions. So I would go with, once you got the programming part, follow what you've got in your instruction book, because it's pretty straightforward. It explains it really well there. So yep, so I'll find this one and then you will plug this in, and then once we've done that, then this will get plugged in to the main unit, but you do this part first. So I'll just run these down in the framework there and we'll do this guy. We're almost there. I think we're actually ready to try it out and see if it'll actually start. Okay, so I actually found where this one goes. It's not actually down the bottom here. This one actually goes up here in this main cluster. It's on my one, it's the lowest one down here. So this is where we plugged this other one in before at the top. And down here again, we're just on the far side below the vent, so we'll plug it in there. Again, that end just goes in, and then the factory side plugs into here and that. And then this actual one, the YouTube video is a little different to what the actual manual says that you get. So this has to actually go behind the glove box. That's why it's so long. So I've got to actually thread that right through, so that might be a pain in the ass. But we'll get that through. It goes to the ECU, I believe. That one. I'll double check that one, but yeah, I think that's one. That's why it's so long. It's got to go all the other way across. So I'll get this other one plugged in, but yeah, that's where it goes. This guy, do that, and then we can plug in this one. Get this last one plugged in, and hopefully get it going. Okay, so this one, kind of annoying. On the other side, it says it's behind the glove box. Do not dismantle like I did. This is kind of pretty easy to put back, but don't do that. It's actually, my one is actually just right here. It's just right on the passenger side, just under, and it's just right here on this bracket. So right next to where the kick panel would go here, it's right here. This is it. So we'll plug that in. Oh, I've set to run the wire through it over, but yeah, and then we can plug that one in. But yeah, you don't need to dismantle everything else. So we'll put this back together. And I'll run this wire and plug it in. I ended up just running a draw wire. This is on the passenger side, and I put it right to the very back. You've got one of the, I think it's the heater, foot heater there. We're just running just against the very back wall, and through it seems to be a kind of a hollow gap, maybe a bigger space. And then on the other side, we've just taped it up. It's not really, you can't really make it nice and smooth, so hopefully there's enough room in there to pull this wire through. We'll see how we go. Okay, that went really well. It got slightly caught, but it actually came through. I just kind of pulled it back and forth just a few times, just gently. It actually got through, so very happy about that. So take the tape off, we'll connect it up there, and we should be good for a test. See if it actually works. Okay, so to start, we just do 3 pushes of the button. There you go. That works pretty well. You just push it 3 more times and it stops it. Cool. Yeah, otherwise, yeah, you just push unlock to jump in, put your key in, turn it on. Once it's on, you push the brake, everything else sort of comes on. So yeah, no, that works really well. Okay, all done, back together. So not a bad install. It is pretty much plug and play. The only harder one was the one over this side, but I'd say that almost anyone can do this one. So I'll put the link up for the Start X, where I got it from, on Amazon there. I think you can buy it for a few other places and that, but a pretty easy install if you don't have remote start, and you can do it yourself. So I mean, easy morning, a couple of hours, you can get that in and stuff, and yeah. But anyway, let me know if you like this. Subscribe if you want to see more, and we will catch you later.